Okay, we're about to cover the brand new airdrop from X2Y2. This is another NFT marketplace which is looking to dethrone OpenSea, and they're launching via airdrop to OpenSea users. Now, why should you care or use this platform? What are some of the promises they're making? Is their idea or their execution any good? Also, we'll look into the beta version of the marketplace that is live right now, and we'll have a closer look at the airdrop and give you some recommendations if it's safe to claim and if it's even worth claiming. The point of me doing these airdrop coverage videos is me doing the research so you can save some time. Let's get into it. Here we go again. Another competitor trying to take a bite out of OpenSea's monopoly. With over 90% of NFT transactions happening on OpenSea, there's a lot to be taken from. But as you might be already thinking, there was an airdrop from an OpenSea competitor, right? Looks rare. And throughout this video, we'll be referencing these comparisons sometimes because it just makes sense. They're trying to do the same thing in a different way. The main point of X2Y2 here is taking a different approach to LooksRare though. They're claiming to be more community focused and less whale and influencer focused. But first, let's talk about some of the fundamentals. So they're looking to dethrone OpenSea, right? And one obvious thing which just jumps out of you when you open their marketplace is that the user interface is very similar to the one of OpenSea. They're going with the same model of 2% trading fees on all collections, just like LooksRare, as opposed to 2.5% for OpenSea. But simply matching the lower trading fees that LooksRare already has is not going to be enough, right? So what else is different here? Well, as we stated, the interface is different. Secondly, the tokenomics and the structure of the airdrop is very different. This is not going to be as juicy of an airdrop as you might expect from the OpenDAO or the LooksRare airdrop. The tokenomics are set up way more conservatively and there's no pre-sales to influencers, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? It's a good thing because more of the token supply goes into the user's hands and goes towards the staking rewards. It's a bad thing because who's gonna support this? You kind of need the big people to be on board to get the big collections trading, right? Because above a certain liquidity level, it's just a handful of people doing all those trades. And although there has been a lot of FUD with LooksRare recently, especially because of the big sums of money they were extracting from the company in forms of wrapped ETH regularly, I still think that this influencer-centric approach is a good one. As I stated in my video on the day of the launch of the Looks airdrop, it's key to realize that having brand ambassadors this large that are actually going to using and promoting your platform wherever they can is a huge factor to adoption. One key aspect which we have to talk about here is security. This is an anonymous team which is launching a brand new project and the smart contract has not been verified yet. But what I will say that in some of my core communities which are full of developers, they have looked over it and it looks fine to them. Don't take this as a guarantee though. What I'll do is I'll use the pinned comment in the comment section below to update you on all developments of the security of the contract. I'll be scouring Twitter and all my communities, and as soon as I have some confirmed information that is 100% sure, I'll add a pinned comment and I'll let you guys know this is safe. Another point that differentiates I'll just call it X2 from here on out. Another point that differentiates X2 here though is the fact that they're doing an initial liquidity offering, meaning they did a pre-sale in their Discord where they raised capital to put into the liquidity pools. So we should not run into issues here with the liquidity pool drying out and the price being manipulated. And here it is, the X2Y2 marketplace on top of Ethereum. By the people for the people. And as an OpenSea power user, immediately it just pops into my mind that this looks very similar. But that might be a good thing, right? People are familiar with OpenSea, so they're playing off that right here. Let's have a look at the rankings page. That is a very well-used feature on OpenSea, right? So same thing here, you get to filter by 30 and 7 days. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more added. Ideally, they would have an IC tools type of filtering, at least at 1 day. Okay, we have this and let's go into a particular collection. Okay, already I gotta say this looks very usable and familiar to me. And a lot of the key buttons are placed in the same way they would be on OpenSea. Let's explore the listings page here. I gotta say I actually like the fact that the activities are this high up more than the OpenSea design. But otherwise it's very similar. You can favorite, you can buy now, you can make offers. And what caught my attention is that they're bringing my favorite feature from LooksRare to this. They will have collection-wide offers on launch, which is huge because that is the true floor price and it is a super useful feature for both buyers and sellers. And then they also have this Explore tab where you can filter different collections and look for activities that are happening right now. Very similar to OpenSea. And yeah, yet again, look, this looks very familiar, but that's a good thing. Another thing happening here is you have this initial liquidity offering where they provide you with certain NFTs that will give you advantages in the future. But I won't be covering this in depth because it's over already and the advantages are nothing crazy that you would really lust for. Overall, I think this looks great and you even have dark mode, which would be my preference. And it seems to be launching with a lot of features that are needed right off the bat. List low to high, they have the collection-wide bids, which I love and they're still not available on OpenSea. And most of all, they have the lower trading fees, right? So instead of 2.5%, you pay 2%. Now let's talk about the airdrop next. If you're getting value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you take a second to hit that like button. But now let's dive into the most important part for us here, the airdrop. Okay, we all love airdrops, right? But let's talk about this. Who's eligible and how much can you make from this? Well, so their cutoff date was the 1st of January 2022. So all OpenSea activity before that is considered. Right now on screen, you can see the distribution of this airdrop. So what they're doing here is, yes, as per usual, all the whale activity, aka above 30 ETH volume on OpenSea, is rewarded well. But compared to all the other airdrops we have seen over the course of the last few months, this is the whale unfriendliest one. Because it doesn't matter if you had 4,000 Ether volume on OpenSea, you still only receive 1,000 tokens, which at the current token price would be only worth $1,800. And while that is fantastic, it is nothing compared to the 150k or the 30k that people received on the OpenDAO and Luxor airdrop day. And honestly, that's just really cool for all the newcomers or the smaller people in the market, because more of those tokens will go to you. How much exactly you'll be receiving you can see on their website. Simply connect your wallet and check out how much you're eligible for. Having a look at the roadmap, it kind of covers everything you want it to cover. They're releasing the full-fledged marketplace now. They'll obviously be developing it and bringing updates throughout. But the thing that caught my attention here is in April, they're promising a 3D VR user interface, meaning you can put on your Oculus and maybe shop for NFTs in virtual reality. And honestly, I just think it's a question of time until every single player integrates a feature like this. It's nice that they have their sights on this and they're promising it as soon as April. Okay, next up, let's have a look at the distribution of the tokens. So the main thing here is they're trying to avoid all massive pre-sales to whales or VCs or influencers. They're putting up a whopping 65% of the token distribution for the staking rewards, and only 12% to the airdrop. And that is why this airdrop is not as massive as some of the other ones. You also get the 2% transaction fees that accrue every single day, which, if this gets any adoption at all, makes staking this a really good deal. And I think the 21% allocation here to the team, the treasury, and the tiny pre-sale is totally fine. As this catches on, staking should be the most interesting part here, as they do not do trading rewards just like Luxor does, which incentivizes wash trading. Now, while I personally don't see a problem with wash trading, yet again, it benefits the bigger players that have automated workflows in place and big wallets and big liquidity amounts to play with. So to really dumb this down, we're kind of getting a Luxor with an OpenSea interface with a better tokenomics that is geared towards small investors. But what we're losing here is the massive influencer support that Luxor already has. And obviously it's a new platform, so we have none of the pre-established brand benefits that OpenSea has. Not financial advice, but I personally bought some tokens before this is launching, because I know that my OpenSea volume is not massive enough for me to receive a significant amount of tokens here, but I really want to participate in the staking rewards and I want to get my cut of the 2% fee. It's a real shame that there's no massive influencer backing this, because getting a project like this off the floor is really hard. But I personally think this definitely falls into the category of the good airdrops that we saw here recently. And whether you dump it immediately or you stake it, this is one that you should pay attention to, and I hope it does well. That's all I got for today. See you in the next one.